Dzień dobry, Katarzyna Szwarc, przewodnicząca Rady
Schwarz,
Nadzorczej.
Chairperson of the Supervisory Board at CD PROJEKT SA. This is the General Shareholders Meetings summoned by means of a report from 21st of April 2021. We are choosing the chairperson of this meeting. You can submit the candidates and the voting will be conducted in secret ballot. Does any of the shareholders need an instruction on how to vote by means of tablets? Because the shareholders participating remotely had the possibility of testing out the system.
Nie widzę takiej potrzeby, w takim razie bardzo proszę o
No such need, so you can submit the candidates. I would like to report the candidacy of Katarzyna Szwarc, chairperson of the Supervisory Board.
Bardzo serdecznie dziękuję.
And thank you so much. I agree to be the candidate. If there are no other candidates, please vote now. Please start the system for the secret ballot.
Bardzo dziękuję.
Thank you so much. And the voting has ended.
Nad uchwałą oddano
54,160,035 valid votes have been cast. 54,166,123 were cast. 33 abstentions. The resolution has been adopted.
Przechodzimy zatem do stwierdzenia prawidłowości zwołania
So
dzisiejszego
now over to the next resolution as to the correctness of convening of this meeting. This meeting was convened by means of a report from April 2021 and announced of the website of the company on that same day. The agenda for today was completed upon application of the shareholder published in the report 24/2021 from the 5th of May 2021. And I would like to ask you for a list of attendees.
Bardzo dziękuję.
Thank you so
Na
much.
dzisiejszym zgromadzeniu
So
obecnych lub
we have
reprezentowanych
453 shareholders represented or present here, represented 54,166,535 shares, which accounts for 53.76% of the share capital. So this meeting has been convened correctly and is able to adopt binding resolutions. I'm signing the attendance list. It can be viewed during the meeting or during this meeting, and if any of the shareholders wants to look at it after the meeting, you can contact us for this purpose. Now, adoption of the agenda of this meeting. So we will be voting on draft resolution published in the report number 23, 2021 from 29th of April 2021. Let me remind you that we are voting on the agenda completed according to the application of the shareholder in the wording published in the report from the 5th of May 2021, report number 24/2021. So we will be voting on the resolutions in the wording proposed by the management board. If you have any proposal to change it, or if you want me to change the content of the resolution, please let me know before we vote. Otherwise, I will be announcing voting without reading of the resolutions to accelerate the meeting. And we have very dispersed shareholding, so the meeting is quite long. So resolution number 2, please vote now. The secret is carried out in an open ballot.
Wszystkie głosy, to proszę o zamknięcie głosowania.
Once all votes have been cast, please shut the possibility of voting.
Głosowanie zostało
The
zakończone.
voting
Bardzo
has
proszę.
ended. May I have the results, please?
Nad uchwałą oddano 54
Votes cast 54,166,535 valid votes. In favor 54,166,501 votes, 34 abstentions, and no votes against. The resolution has been adopted. We're moving on to reports, financial report and consolidated statement. And do you have any questions as shareholders? I can see that some new shareholders are registering, so before moving on to voting on resolution concerning approval of the company's financial statement for 2020, let us wait for those shareholders who are still registering.
Ja za chwilę oczywiście zweryfikuję listę
In a moment, I will
akcjonariuszy
verify
i
the list
co
of
do tego,
shareholders
jaką
and
liczbę
will tell you
akcjonariuszy
about the number of
reprezentowanych na
shareholders and the
zgromadzeniu
number
od
of shares represented at this meeting from now on.
Mamy już zweryfikowaną listę
We've already
akcjonariuszy.
verified the list of shareholders.
Dziękuję uprzejmie.
Thank you so much for the list.
Od tej chwili
So from now on,
zwyczajnym walnym
at
zgromadzeniu
this ordinary general meeting, we have 456 shareholders present or represented, representing 54,166,835 shares and the same amount of votes.
Przechodzimy zatem
Moving on to voting on resolution on the approval of the Consolidated Financial Statement of CD Projekt Group for 2020. Please cast your votes now.
Czy dla użytkowników? O właśnie. Głosowanie zostało
The
zakończone.
voting has ended. We cannot hear the comments
Bardzo
without the mic.
proszę o ponowne uruchomienie systemu.
Okay, please start the
Głosowanie
system
zostanie
again.
przeprowadzone.
We will carry out voting again.
Proszę jeszcze raz wszystkich akcjonariuszy.
So I would like to
o
ask
głos.
all shareholders to cast their votes now.
Tak, obecnych na sali oczywiście.
All those present in the room, of course.
Mamy już wyniki tego
Do we
głosowania.
have the outcomes of the voting?
Dziękuję bardzo.
Thank you.
Oddano 54
54,167,005 valid votes have been cast.
Za uchwałą oddano
In favor,
54,014,032
votes, abstentions 152,973 votes.
Przepraszam, ale to
Apologies.
kolejna osoba się pojawiła. Tak?
Another person appeared.
Dobrze. Informuję, że
So let me inform you that at present we have
osobiście lub przez pełnomocników
457 shareholders present or represented, representing 54,167,005 votes and the same shares and the same amount of votes.
I przechodzimy do
Moving
uchwały w
on
sprawie
to
zatwierdzenia
resolution concerning approval of the consolidated financial statement of the CD Projekt Group for 2020. Please cast your votes now.
Jedna osoba uczestnicząca zdalnie nie oddała
One of the
głosu.
remote participants
Proszę
failed
kogoś z
to
tych, którzy
cast a
są
ballot,
obecni,
so
żeby
please,
zdecydować się.
everybody wishing to
Oczywiście, jeżeli ktoś nie
cast
chce
their
oddać głosu, to
vote,
też jest jego
please
prawo,
do that. If someone does not wish to cast a vote, they are entitled to abstain, but just to avoid any doubts, we will wait a moment longer and then I will close this vote.
Czy spłynął ten głos?
Did
Nie, to ja
that
zamykam głosowanie.
shareholder cast their vote? No? All right, let me declare this ballot closed and let us see the results.
Dziękuję bardzo.
We have the results. Thank you so much. So there were 54,166,945 votes cast, with merely 108,052 votes abstaining, and all the rest cast in favor of the resolution. And now let us move on to casting votes on yet another resolution concerning approval of the Management Board report on CD Projekt Group and CD Projekt SA activities in 2020. Are there any questions? Can you hear me? Kamil Kosiński, Perfect TFI. I have a question regarding lawsuits in the US. Between this report was published and today's meeting was started, did the company receive any additional information regarding these collective lawsuits? In particular, do you know the value of the claim indicated by the claimants? Yes, in line with the information conveyed through the report, the court has selected a representative of the opposing party, a law firm representing them, and their lead plaintiff, that is the main person representing that claiming party. As of today, we are not aware of a value of a potential claim. The actual suit shall be filed with the court until the end of June. If there are no further questions, let us cast a vote on a resolution concerning approval of the Management Board report on CD Projekt Group and CD Projekt SA activities in 2020. It's an open ballot. Please cast your votes. Again, would the shareholders participating via remote links cast their votes if they wish to participate, as there are some votes that have not been cast yet?
Czy spłynęły wszystkie głosy?
Have all of the votes been cast yet? If not, I believe that's the wish of the shareholders, so I hereby declare this ballot closed.
Nad uchwałą oddano
54,166,940 valid votes have been cast. 54,013,747 votes in favor and 153,193 votes have abstained. Thank you so much. This resolution passed. And now let us discuss a resolution concerning the allocation of company profit obtained in 2020. Let me remind you that the management board discusses that 1.123247 and 22 groszy profit shall be split by transferring 504,649 zlotys to be shared as dividends at 5 zlotys per share, and the remaining part at 628,528 zlotys and 22 groszy to be assigned to a reserve capital of the company. The dividends shall be paid as assigned as of the 1st of June and paid on of the 8th of June. Are there any motions? No motions cast remotely or here in the room. So let us now vote on the resolution. Please cast your votes.
Czy spłynęły wszystkie głosy?
Have all votes been cast yet? Thank you so much. I hereby close the ballot.
Nad uchwałą oddano
54,166,372 valid votes have been cast. Out of them, 54,166,372 votes in favor, 80 against, and 553 abstained. The resolution has been adopted. Thank you so much. And now let us move on to a resolution on granting discharge to the governing bodies of the company. These will be secret votes and shares belonging to shareholders referred to in the discharge shall not participate. However, these shareholders, if they act as plenipotentiaries of others, they may vote out of these shares if they have relevant instructions in place. I will discuss the excluded shares for each and every vote. The first is on granting discharge to the President of the Management Board, Mr. Adam Kiciński, on account of the performance of his duties between January the 1st and December the 31st, 2020, and in this scope, his shares are excluded. Please cast your votes.
Wszystkie głosy spłynęły?
Have all votes been cast yet? Thank you so much. The ballot is closed now.
Nad uchwałą oddano 50 milionów
50,121,104 valid votes have been cast. Out of them, 47,482,800 in favor, 131 against, and 2,638,887 valid votes eligible to participate have abstained. Thank you so much, and my congratulations on the discharge to the President of the Management Board. And now a resolution granting discharge to the Vice President of the Management Board, Mr. Machenye, for the fiscal year 2020. In this scope, Marcin's shares are excluded from the vote. Please cast your votes.
Wszystkie głosy spłynęły?
Have all the votes been cast yet? Not yet, all right.
Już spłynęły, zamykam głosowanie.
Now we're here, so the ballot is closed.
Bardzo dziękuję. Nad
Thank you
uchwałą
so
oddano
much. 41,293,485 valid votes have been cast. Out of them, 38,658,552 in favor, 1 against, and 2,634,932 votes abstained. The resolution has been adopted. Thank you so much. And now we're moving to a resolution granting discharge to the Vice President of the Management Board, Mr. Lubovich, for the full financial year 2020. And for that vote, Piotr's shares shall be excluded. Please cast your votes. Excuse me, I'm afraid I am not able. All right.
Czy wszystkie głosy spłynęły?
Have all the votes been cast yet?
Tak, zamykam głosowanie. Dziękuję.
All right, so the ballot is closed now. Thank you so much.
Dziękuję bardzo. Nad uchwałą oddano
47,384,487 votes have been cast. Overall, 44,337,505 in favor, 1 against, and 2,635,102 votes abstained. Thank you so much. Thank you too. And now let us move on to granting discharge to Adam Badovsky, member of the Management Board for the financial year 2020. Adam's shares shall be excluded from this vote. Please cast your votes now.
Czy spłynęły wszystkie głosy?
Have all the votes been cast yet?
Dziękuję, wszystkie głosy spłynęły.
Thank you so much. All the votes have been cast. The ballot is closed now. Abstained. The resolution has been adopted. And now let us move on to yet another resolution on granting discharge to Michał Nowakowski, member of the Management Board for the full financial year 2020. Michał's shares are excluded from this very vote.
Czy spłynęły wszystkie głosy? Dziękuję.
Have all the votes? Yes, all the votes have been cast. The voting has been closed.
Bardzo dziękuję. Na
Thank you
uchwałę
so
oddano
much.
53
Votes cast 53,586 million in favor, 50,951,612 votes against, one voice, 2,600,102 abstentions. The resolution has been adopted. Congratulations. And now resolution on granting discharge to Piotr Karwowski, member of the Management Board, for the full year 2020. Mr. Karwowski's votes will be excluded from voting. Please vote now.
Wszystkie głosy spłynęły.
All
Dziękuję.
votes have
Zamykam
been
głosowanie.
cast. Thank you. The voting has been closed.
Nad uchwałą oddano
Votes cast 54,058,277 votes in favor, 51,405,000 votes against, 3 abstentions, 2,653,190 votes. The resolution has been adopted. And now we are moving on to resolution on granting discharge to the Supervisory Board. Any questions? Feel free to ask them. Hello. Again, I represent the TFI. Before voting on granting discharge to members of the Supervisory Board, I would like to ask the company to confirm the issues that we were talking about for several days concerning changed components of compensation for 2020 paid out to the management. The report of the Supervisory Board on compensation for members of Supervisory Board and management says that the only condition for granting an annual bonus for members of the management were results of the capital group, CD Projekt Capital Group, and the policy of remuneration paragraph 4.15 says that the conditions that need to be met in order to increase the changeable elements, the conditions are quoted in total. So can you confirm that the conditions in paragraph 4.15 are not conditions in the meaning of the civil code and thus are not in force as hard provisions? And the provision on 10-to-1 limitation is a provision that can be eliminated under any circumstances, regardless of whether the results are good or bad, whether the rate of shares increases or falls, as this paragraph says. Let me comment on this as the chairwoman of the Supervisory Board. Let me confirm that the conditions, I'm not precisely confirming what you said. So the conditions are not conditions in the meaning of the civil code, but they are not total conditions that are used in total, applied in total. Regardless of that, let me say that deviations from the compensation policy are still possible. I'm not saying that this was the case, but if there are any deviations for the reporting periods related to turnover years, the Supervisory Board will inform inform the shareholders thereof, informing that there was such a deviation and that the board quotes, and the board will quote the reasons. Compensation policy is not a document that could result in the fact that any remuneration to management board members under their binding contracts can be stopped. This document has no such power, so remuneration was paid out to members of the management board because they were due and enforceable. The company was obliged to pay them out in this amount. So you confirm clearly that these are not conditions in the meaning of the civil code, in spite of the fact that there is no definition of the meaning of a condition. They are not conditions in the meaning of the civil code. Can we move on to voting? If yes, we are moving on to voting on the first discharge for Chairwoman of the Supervisory Board, Katarzyna Szwarc. Apologies. One more shareholder, who is a remote shareholder, would like to ask a question. Feel free to ask the question. I would like to ask the management board to update information about progress in discussions with Sony on reintroduction of cyberpunk in Sony stores. When can the shareholders expect the end of these discussions? This is not the point on the agenda to discuss this topic, but as within the framework of good practices, Adam can answer this question briefly and sum up the situation. Unfortunately, I have no new information in this regard. We are still in discussions, and with every patch, the game gets better and there is a visible progress. But as we said, the decision is an exclusive decision of Sony. So we are waiting for the information about the fact that they took the decision to bring back this game. Until then, I'm not able to tell you anything more. Thank you so much. Are there any other questions? If no, we are moving on to voting on discharge resolution number 13 on discharge to Chairwoman of the Supervisory Board, Ms. Katarzyna Szwarc, on account of performance of her duties in 2020. Please cast your votes now. All votes have been cast and the voting has been closed. Thank you very much. Thank you. Votes cast 54,167,005 valid votes. In favor 52,929,706 votes. Against 982,966 votes. Abstentions 254,333 votes. Thank you very much. And now moving on to the next voting on granting discharge to Deputy Chairman of the Supervisory Board, Mr. Piotr Pongowski, for the financial year 2020. Please cast your votes now. All votes have been cast. The voting has been closed. Thank you. Votes cast 54,167,005 valid votes. In favor 53,895,696 votes. Against 35,089 votes. Abstentions 236,220 votes. Thank you very much. Moving on to the next resolution granting discharge to Deputy Chairman, granting discharge to Michał Bień for the financial year 2020. Please cast your votes now. Please cast your votes. Not all votes have been cast yet. Not all have been cast. Now all have been cast. The voting has been closed.
Dziękuję bardzo.
Thank you so much. Votes cast: 54,167,005 valid votes. Votes in favor: 53,895,527 votes. Against: 17,000. Abstentions: 254,478 votes. The resolution has been adopted. Moving on to voting on granting discharge to Mr. Kilian, a member of Supervisory Board for the financial year 2020.
Czy spłynęły wszystkie głosy?
Have all votes been cast?
Głosy z sali jeszcze nie spłynęły, tak?
The votes
Proszę o
from the
sprawdzenie, czy
floor
akcjonariusze
are
wszyscy
not
oddali
all
głos.
cast, have not all been cast yet.
Wszystkie głosy spłynęły. Dziękuję. Zamykam głosowanie.
The voting has been closed.
Dziękuję. Nad uchwałą oddano 54 miliony
Thank you. 54,167,005 votes have been cast. 53,167,525 in favor, 17,001 vote against, and 254,478 votes abstained. Thank you so much. And now we're moving on to the last discharge vote regarding Machenye Lubovich, member of the Supervisory Board, and full financial year 2020. Please cast your votes.
Wszystkie głosy spłynęły.
All votes have been cast.
Zamykam głosowanie.
So the ballot is closed now. Let us review the results.
Dziękuję. Nad uchwałą oddano
Thank you so much. 54,167,005 valid votes have been cast. 53,670,401 in favor, 260,174 against, and 236,436 abstained. The resolution has been passed, and now we're moving to a resolution expressing an opinion regarding the CD Projekt SA Supervisory Board report concerning compensation of members of the Management Board and Supervisory Board in 2019 and 20. Do we have any questions beyond the one already asked by one shareholder? No questions in the room here. And no incoming remote questions. So let us move on to the vote on expressing an opinion with regard to the CD Projekt SA Supervisory Board report concerning compensation of members of the Management Board and Supervisory Board in 2019 and 2020. Please cast your votes.
Proszę o oddawanie głosów zdalnych.
Please cast your votes if you're connecting remotely. Not all the votes have been cast yet.
Nie wszystkie głosy spłynęły.
Not all votes have been cast yet. But I believe that's what the shareholders wish. So let us close the ballot and review the results.
Nad uchwałą oddano
54,166,940 valid votes have been cast, out of which 46,874,881 votes in favor, 4,873,708 votes against, and 2,418,351 votes abstained. So the resolution has been adopted. Thank you so much. And now we're moving on to appointing members of the Supervisory Board to a new term of office. There will be 5 resolutions of this type, as the Supervisory Board has 5 members according to the Articles of Association. Prior to the General Shareholders meeting, the shareholders decided to declare the candidacies of Łukasz Weichert, Katarzyna Szwarc, Piotr Pongowski, Michał Bien, and Machenye Lubovich. All those candidates agreed to serve as such. Are there any other candidates to be put forward by the shareholders participating on-site or remotely? I cannot see any. I believe that the plenipotentiary of the Nationale Nederlanden shareholder confirms the candidacy of Łukasz Weichert. Yes, remotely. Thank you so much. Hence, we are going to vote. We have a confirmation of the candidacy. We are going to vote in alphabetical order. Let us start with Michał Bień. Please cast your votes. It's a secret ballot.
Spłynęły wszystkie głosy?
Have all the votes been cast yet?
Za chwilę zamknę głosowanie, także proszę o oddanie głosu.
I will be closing the ballot soon, so please cast your votes if you haven't done so yet and you wish to do so.
Wszystkie głosy spłynęły. Dziękuję. Zamykam głosowanie.
All the votes have been cast. Thank you so much. The ballot is now closed.
Nad uchwałą oddano
54,167,005 valid votes have been cast, out of which 46,201,194 votes in favor, 6,876,638 against, and 1,089,173 votes abstained. The resolution has been adopted. Thank you so much. And now yet another resolution regarding the appointment of Machenye Lubovich to serve on the Supervisory Board in the new term of office. Please cast your votes.
Proszę o oddawanie głosów.
Please cast your votes.
Wszystkie głosy zostały oddane. Dziękuję.
All the votes have been cast. Thank you so much. Let us review the results.
Dziękuję. Nad uchwałą oddano
Thank you so much. 54,167,005 valid votes have been cast, out of which 46,183,066 votes in favor and 6,894,841 votes against, 1,089,098 votes abstained. Thank you so much. The resolution has been adopted. And now yet another resolution regarding the appointment
Rady Nadzorczej
of Piotr Pongowski to serve as a Supervisory Board member. Please cast your votes.
Dziękuję. Głosowanie zostało
Thank you so
zakończone.
much. The
Proszę o wyniki.
ballot has been closed. Let us review the results.
Nad uchwałą oddano 54
54,167,005 valid votes have been cast, out of which 46,201,054 in favor, 6,876,609 against, and 1,089,342 votes abstained. Yet another vote regards the appointment of Katarzyna Schwarz to serve on the Supervisory Board. Please cast your votes.
Bardzo proszę o oddawanie głosu.
Please cast your votes.
Ponieważ nie wszystkie głosy są.
I'm talking to the remote participants as not all the votes have been cast yet.
Wszystkie głosy spłynęły.
All the
Dziękuję
votes have been
bardzo.
cast.
Proszę
Thank
o
you
wyniki.
so much. Let us review the results.
Nad uchwałą oddano 54
54,167,005 valid votes have been cast, 46,201,155 in favor, 6,876,684 votes against, and 1,089,186 votes abstained. Thank you so much. The resolution has been adopted. Thanks so much for appointing me. And the last resolution regarding an appointment to serve on the Supervisory Board for Łukasz Wejhert. Please cast your votes.
Głosowanie zostało zakończone. Proszę
The
o wyniki.
ballot has been closed. Let us review the results.
Głosowanie jeszcze trwa, jednak nie wszyscy oddali
The
głosy.
ballot still continues. Not all votes have been cast yet, actually.
Nadal nie wszyscy oddali.
Still, not all the votes have been cast. I understand some of the shareholders connecting remotely have not cast their votes
Ja
yet.
zamykam głosowanie.
So let me close the ballot.
Nad uchwałą oddano 54
54,167,004 valid votes have been cast, out of which 46,188,484 in favor, 6,894,646 votes against, and 1,893,984 abstained. Thank you so much. Hence, the Supervisory Board has been appointed to serve in their new term in office. And now let's move on to the resolution concerning amendment of the company articles regarding the business operation codes. We will vote by the qualified majority here.
Proszę o oddawanie głosów.
Please keep casting your votes.
Nie wszystkie głosy
Not all
spłynęły.
votes have been cast, so let's wait another moment and I'll close the voting.
Zamykam głosowanie.
I'm closing the voting. May I have the results, please?
Nad uchwałą oddano
Votes cast 54,167,004 valid votes, against 54,166,776 votes, against 65 votes, abstentions 163 votes. The resolution has been adopted by the required majority. And now moving on to voting on the last resolution that was submitted by the shareholder, resolution on changing compensation of the management board members according to the resolution submitted by the shareholder. It concerns the 10,000 zloty monthly and supervisory board members 6,000 zloty. Please vote now.
Nie, głosowanie jest jawne.
And this is an open ballot.
Zamykam głosowanie.
Voting has been closed. May I have the results, please?
Dziękuję.
Thank you. Votes cast 54,167,940 valid votes. Votes in favor 54,112,591 votes, against 12,500, abstentions 41,849 votes. Thank you so much. The resolution has been adopted, and that's all from today's agenda. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for your participation. The meeting has been closed.
Dziękujemy.
Thank you.